I do have a laptop to turn into, and hey, screw kit, palm rest. There we are. There's your part number from Dell. Yeah. Oh. Where is it? Ah, there we are. Yes, we have a dropped computer. It's a Dell XPS 15. It seems to be totally functional, except structurally it's been compromised. So this is what gets. This is what we're dealing with. All right, so I figured this is worth showing off. Most of the screws are compromised, meaning they're missing on the bottom of this machine. So what I'm essentially going to do is take it apart gently and then rebuild this machine. I'm taking everything under the hood and moving it to what I would consider the chassis of the machine, which is actually the top piece of the computer, structurally speaking. It contains the keyboard and it contains the touchpad. All right, in this case, the touchpad and the palm rest are the same part. That's a Dell part number, parts-people.com. All right, just answering calls here. Let's see here. Checking messages on the phone. Wheeling and dealing on OfferUp. All right, let's see here. Is this a T5 screw? We've only got 2 in here. All right. Oof, that was a tight screw. Yes, this thing is compromised. Structurally speaking. Let's see here. Okay, there's our Phillips head. Oh, it's missing a Phillips head screwdriver. I mean, it's missing a Phillips head screw. There's 2 here. Let's see. Ah, there. The palm rest is still deep inside. So I'm going to put the base plate. In most cases, the base plate is the chassis, but in this case, it's backwards manufactured. So I'm going to dedicate an entire shelf to all the parts. I'm going to remove the SSD. I do this repair all the time. It's a relatively straightforward setup. Put everything over there. Next is, let's see if I can get you, oh, there we go. There's a nice better view for you. This is an XPS 15. It's probably not the newest model, but probably only 3 or so years old. Middle-aged. That's what I call this computer. I tell people, generally speaking, if they have issues with their computer after 5 or 6 years, it's time to move on. Let's see. Let's see here. Phillips head screws are still the most prevalent screw in a Dell computer. It was a T5 screw that held this thing together. They kind of anticipate people not having a T5 laying around the house. I think that's part of the methodology. Screw! Got it. Moving the battery. all of them? No, we got one more screw here and one on the other side. We're essentially going to do this in reverse when putting this machine together. And the battery should just come out now. We are going to be gentle in tugging on the power cable for the battery. Now we're discharged. We're getting close. Oh, this isn't quite as difficult as I thought it might be. So we're going to disconnect the ribbon cables for the palm rest, which basically control the touchpad. And we got a, oh, looks like his keyboard isn't quite seated properly, although that wasn't part of the problem. Okay, that's done. Now we're going to take the fans out. I'm kind of expecting some things just to pop off because structurally this thing is so affected. I'll put these screws over here. And I'm going to set aside a specific spot on my other desk to make sure things are staying in order as I remove what's under here. Oh, what is that? I need to get a different screwdriver. Let's see. Ooh, I like this screwdriver. There we go. Also a Phillips head screw, but the screw's a little different. What is that? Oh, that's for the screen. That's what that's for. Can't tell what that went to until I took off the adapter. So here's what I'm going to do. Oh, that's what I'll do. Going to pull aside a drawer so I can help with screw segregation here so I don't mix and match screws. And I'm going to gently pry the screen part. There's our damage right here. That let go. Oh man, yeah. Fun. Okay, let's just be gentle. Be gentle. I'm going to keep these screws right there. I'm going to keep them next to me just so I know where they are. I need to dedicate a specific space for certain parts because there's several size screws involved in the machine's assembly. Just be gentle. Make sure you're using the right screws. If you need to spend $1 or $2, literally speaking, on replacing a screwdriver with a different screwdriver that's slightly different, and you'd be surprised how much better it can grab. You don't want all your screwdrivers to be the same size, even if they're the same shape. Alright. Good. Man, the screws are tight! We got everything. Let's see here. Yeah, screw in missing. I just want to be gentle in removing everything. Oh, we get a little bit of dirt in here. There. That's one fan out. Pretty sure I got all the screws out, but it's thermal paste doesn't want to let go. Let's remove this fan just to. Tater, you're in the way. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Am I missing a screw? Let's see what's under here. Ah, yes I am. Be careful, you see that? I thought thermal paste was actually grabbing onto this thing. I have already turned this thing on. It does work. It's strictly speaking a structural failure of the palm rest, and it was dropped. There. There. All right. All right. And now it's just your Wi-Fi card and your motherboard. I'm going to be gentle. I'm going to remove the Wi-Fi card. I hate these connectors, even if they're not damaged, they're a pain in the butt. These right here. Alright, let's see. We did order the screw kit because screws are missing. Motherboard. I have to say things out loud so I remember where they go. Motherboard. Alright. Motherboard. What other screws are we? Oh, let's take his USB stick out here. He's got a mouse adapter. There. Let's be gentle with this ribbon cable. Oh, that's for his touch sensor, or thumb sensor, or finger sensor. That's what this gold cable is. Okay, what other screws am I missing? I got two more screws here. Motherboard. The other advantage of recording yourself is you can see what you might have forgotten when I put this back together. I can review this video. Okay. Okay. And what are we missing? One more piece of wire, I bet. Ah. Is that a speaker? Yes, that's a speaker wire. Let's be gentle with that. Oh, I thought that board down below. There's a daughter board right here underneath. And it's being held onto by the speakers. Be gentle with it. Pull gently. There we goes. And that's pretty much it. This job was not quite as difficult as I thought. Although, yeah, the keyboard, that's a lot of screws. Oh, shucks. I am going to put this motherboard in a safe place. Find a, let's do that. Let's put it right here. Good. So, the bigger issue with this disassembly, or the bigger hassle, I should say, it's not a difficult problem. So, I did a video just a week ago about an HP where there was a metal a metal cover basically that kept all this keyboard shoved up against the bottom of the touchpad. This particular Dell is a much smarter design. It's a much more repair-friendly design. This keyboard is held together or held against this palm rest with several screws. It's a much more repairable setup. Okay, motherboard. Let's dedicate. Looks like we have a bunch, probably, ooh, we won't count them. This is going to be keyboard. Since the palm rest is essentially what has failed. Oh yes, this keyboard is so much easier to deal with. Ooh. It'll be interesting to see what cables come with the new palm rest, or which ones I'll have to move over from this one. Alright, so it's not totally, this won't be a total disassembly. Yes, I'm so thankful that these screws are here instead of just a riveted piece of metal. So I was actually able to get a part number for the HP I was speaking of, even though it was literally plastic riveted to the bottom of the palm rest. So technically that keyboard and palm rest should have been one part. Just like, as you can see in this situation, this touchpad and this palm rest shipped as one part. Technically this palm rest and the touchpad are two different parts. But Dell in this case sends out the touchpad. If I wanted a touchpad replacement, the palm rest would probably be part of the same part number as well, even though I ordered a palm rest and I got a touchpad. And you can see physically how things are laid out. Oftentimes when a battery goes bad, it pushes up against the touchpad. So it makes you think you have a bad touchpad. Here's something to observe in this video. Failed battery does not necessarily mean it expands, but sometimes it does. Yeah, there's a keyboard. And so much. I wish all keyboard. Right to repair. I wish Right to Repair would give me a keyboard that never got locked into the palm rest. That touchpad. And not the keyboard from that HP was such a hassle. Thankfully, the customer understood. I videoed that repair and I showed her what I was up against. So, because there's no way to not mangle that piece of metal. So I'm forced to offer up a repair that I don't feel confident in calling professional. Let's get this going here. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect this cable here. Ooh, what was that? Next door neighbors are bouncing from the bouncing from the walls. All right. I'm going to do a separate video on assembly. I'm going to go take a break after this is taken apart, and we'll call the new assembly a new repair, a new video. Okay, so it looks like we've got some tape covering up some of the screws. Let's be gentle. Be gentle. I'm going to remove this protective tape. Be gentle, because the keyboard is not part of our replacement parts, and if you destroy these ribbon cables, you're up a creek and then you're going to have to order a keyboard. So just keep that in mind. Don't get too excited when you think most of the disassembly is an easy one. don't want to. You know what I'll do? Okay, see this piece of material? It's covering up certain screws. So I need to find a spudger. I don't want to jam a hard metal screwdriver into the circuitry of the keyboard, so I have to be gentle with the plastic spudger. The reason you get a plastic spudger is because the material is a soft plastic. You want the plastic to be sacrificial here. You don't want to end up having a hard surface like a piece of metal on a screwdriver, jamming dents in to the electronics or the pieces of the plastic that make the machine what it is. Okay, there, you see that? I just uncovered a screw. Alright, okay, see? Some Phillips head screwdrivers are just better for the exact screw you're attacking. Man, that's a lot of screws. But I'm still thankful I have screws instead of plastic rivets. HP. That's another reason to not get an HP. I don't like HP in general. This is a Dell. And they all, across the board, generally speaking, the hardware quality is similar. But Dell and Dell and Lenovo have the best warranties. Most affordable, upgradable warranties anyway. Okay, I'm having trouble getting in there. Let's checklist. There. I managed to. Oh, where did that screw go? Okay. Oh man. Palm rest. See, I'm trying to open up. I got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like 10 or 12 screws here, hidden under these little flappy panels here. This is really annoying. I don't like having to unglue covers for a screw. God, this keyboard is going to be more labor than the rest of the machine. Man. Look at these little plastics. Oh, there we go. That one did not want to come. I did not want to let go. I wish I could remove this, but it's basically glued to the keyboard cables. So I don't want to destroy the keyboard, which I would end up doing. She is squeeze. All right. There. How many screws are we missing? I think that's, nope, we got 2 more hidden under this ridiculous. You know what? I'd love to see a computer, a laptop specifically, get manufactured. I would like to know the engineering behind this sticky tape blocking access to the screws. Alright, this is the Dell XPS 15. If you just showed up. I think that's all of them. Oh, we got the screws under here. We got 2 more screws. I think that's it. So the only thing I'm not totally disassembling is the screen. But technically the screen is what is not capable of holding onto the existing palm rest. There. And there we have a keyboard removal for an XPS 15. Let's get some food in here. All right. And there's your keyboard. All laptop keyboards should be manufactured just this way, not the way the HP I took apart the other day is. Alright, so there we go. Put the motherboard in its own safe place. I don't want it to be compromised. I found a piece of cushion to lay it on, so I don't have to worry about scratching it. And I think I've done the bulk of the removal here. So you can see these 2 screws. This is what failed on this side over here. There we go. Yeah, this here. Oh. This grabs on. This hinge is part of the assembly for the screen. So let me grab my Phillips here. Screen. Oh man, that's, yeah, because it's structural, that's why it's so tight. You can tell the screw's a little beefier too. Oh, I'm going to have to chip away at this plastic that's sort of glued. Okay. Let me put this in a safe place. This is the screen. Let me show you our structural failure here. Right here. Check that out. That was not supposed to let go. I mean, that was supposed to let go. Here, oh, I see. We got one little screw that was hidden under this cable. That's why I didn't see it right away. Let's not lose the screw. That should not let go, but it did. Yeah, see, this is the sort of plastic riveting I'm whining about. You see, this is your power button right here. Right there. Let's move the cables so you can see what I'm whining about here. You want to watch a grown man whine? This is the sort of stuff that can get me going. You see these little rivets here? Yeah, technically that power button is unremovable. It's part of the palm rest. There, I was waiting for the camera to focus. So technically, the power button is a separate piece of plastic that's glued and riveted to the palm rest. Good, we're coming up, well, it's been about a half hour. I was kind of curious how much time it was going to take to do this. There we are. There, you can time me. 30 minutes, 46 seconds for a palm rest removal from a Dell XPS 15. Just pay attention to the cables. This is what you need to be careful for. You got speaker wire. Actually, that's a sensor. Speaker wire is right here. You can't. I'm going to put this screen in a safe place. Let me show you what's up. Speakers are right here and here. This powers them. Of course, I can't see the cable. Right there, that's your speaker wire. This, oh, that's probably the sensor that says it's a laptop. So when you close the lid, it actually goes to sleep. I'm guessing that's what that cable does right there. You got a circuit board for the keyboard and the backlight for this cable here. Also for that sensor for calling it a laptop and not a desktop. And then you got the touchpad keyboard right here. And then this is your thumb sensor cable, this copper cable here. And then this is your touch sensor, also probably same part number. Yes, it has to be because they're glued in there as the palm rest as a whole. Okay, I'm going to call this a video all by itself. I'm not going to do the same video for assembly. I'll do that later. I also haven't. I'm getting kind of hungry, so yes, I'll come back and do the rest of this assembly later. If you've never been here before, my name is Chris at South Bay Tech Gurus. Give me a call at 855-434-8787. Show up in the YouTube live chat or Facebook live chat. And that's about it. 855-434-8787 if you want to give me a phone call. Palm rest is disassembled. Alright, and I will do this again in reverse later. Bye for now.